Wait a minute, okay? This is weird. So I watched the entire first 5 episodes of Velma. It's really, really horrible. And it was fun. And I watched them again. And I watched them again for the second time. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is going on here? Do you remember the first trailer of when Velma first dropped? Wasn't she supposed to be a lesbian? So she's a lesbian. What? And here's where the ball dropped really far. And I'm like, wait a minute. Huh. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. So in the first episode of this, I'm guessing season 1 because we're getting season 2 as well. In the first episode of Velma, she walks up to Fred and he's a playboy. He loves himself and you know all that bullshit. And I'm thinking, you a lesbian? Excuse me, but aren't you a lesbian? You know lesbians don't like guys, right? No fact. They don't like them. They like them as friends. That's why they're boy/friends. But they don't date them because they're lesbians. Duh. So I'm thinking to myself, wait, if you're a lesbian, why are you hitting on Fred? Shouldn't you hit on Daphne if you're a lesbian? So Fred turns her down because he thinks, and I can't tell you why he turns her down. Because it's right. Well, it's a racist scene. You gotta watch it for yourself, man. It's a weird, racist scene. And I'm stood there thinking, well, I'm sat there thinking, wait a minute. Why is she hitting on Fred if she's a lesbian? Huh. So Fred turns her down because he's like, oh, you know, you're a geeky smart girl, and I'm not into those kind of girls. But why would you? She's a lesbian. So, the third scene blows my mind because the first scene is indicating, and we all know this, Fred and Daphne are together. Doesn't bother me because they've been together for a long time, since the 60s. They're together. Third episode comes up, and Velma and Daphne make out in front of, I'm calling him Shaggy. Fuck Norval. I don't care for that name at all. I don't care for the name Norval. It's Shaggy. Do you understand me? I don't care if it's a different person as he was before. It's Shaggy, and it will always be Shaggy. It's in front of Shaggy. And he goes, oh, she's a lesbian. And the scene ends, because he was going to take her on a date, and he bought her some flowers. Really nice flowers. And I'm thinking, pause. No, she's not. I mean, she could be bisexual, and I'm fine with that. But she's not a lesbian. Lesbians do not hit on men if they're gay. They don't. Unless they're bisexual, they don't. And I remember the creator saying, Velma's a lesbian. So why the hell are you having her hit on Freddy of all people? Of course, Shaggy, you know, hits on her, but he doesn't know that she's a lesbian at the time. So episode 3 rolls in, and I'm thinking, is she a lesbian, or is she just fucking with Shaggy just to take the piss? You know what I mean? Because there's two kinds of lesbians. There's women that are 100% lesbian, and there's women that are not lesbian. They think they're lesbian, but they're still not at that road. You're thinking, well, I'm still straight. You know what I mean? So, they really dropped the ball on that one. No one's complained about. Everyone's complained about them being different races, but no one's complained about the fact that Velma might not be a lesbian. Think about this for a second, and I can't show you the clip because it's, you know, copyright claims, but I can't. You know, look. If she's a lesbian flat out, why have her go after Freddy but turn down Shaggy? And the guy was very, very helpful. He he saved her life a few times. And then you learn, okay, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this, go watch this now. I'll give you a few seconds to pause the video. Okay, so spoiler alert, Freddy, who's supposed to be the leader of the group, is the killer. And it didn't kill this one character, not a main character, no big deal, by the way, she's just a side character. For attention, I was like, oh my god. So, Velma goes into a panic attack, and Daphne gets her out of the panic attack, saves her life, and they have an intimate moment. I'm going, oh, that's kind of nice. But I'm pausing, midway pausing, and I'm going, wait. I want to say, oh, it was kind of nice. You know, I don't care if you're lesbian, gay, or bi, or whatever you are, but if you're not 100% committed, you ain't lesbian. I'm sorry, but you ain't. You can say you're lesbian, try it, and go back to being straight. But that's not how it works. I believe it was told in Family Guy where Meg pretends to be a lesbian because she likes the girl, but she realizes she's not a lesbian. Velma is done the opposite of what Meg's done, and actually 100% believes she's a lesbian now. Because if you watch the first episode of Velma, she's trying to hit on her Freddy. He turns her down because she's smart and other reasons. I can't get into detail on why. So I just think because I'm thinking, oh my god, why the sudden change? And I remember the creator of the show saying she's gonna be lesbian, and I'm cool with that. I can respect that. More power to you. But they didn't do that in the first episode. They dropped the ball and went, oh, well, we screwed over. And they did screw over big time. Because in the first scene, on the first episode, she's clearly straight. Then in episode 3, she's a lesbian. So technically, if you think about that, if you use logic, and you can deny all you want, because we've done this before with Princess Bubblegum and not Marceline. You can bullshit me all you want. So technically, if you think about it, and I mean really think about it, and pause it, go back, watch the first episode, and then watch episode 3. Tell me I'm wrong, but Velma is technically bisexual. Otherwise, why would she hit on Freddy if she's a lesbian? If the creator of the show says she's a lesbian, why have her hit on Freddy? And I've seen most lesbians in shows, like, for example, Game of Thrones. Lesbian means they like women only. End of story. They don't like women only, but they prefer men. No. They like women only. Done. It's like a gay guy. He likes men only. But there's some gay guys who go, well, I like dressing as a girl. I like acting like a girl. I like taking it out there like a girl. But I prefer women. You cannot, people, pick a side. There are only 3, straight, lesbian, or bi, and you gotta pick a side, man. You can't keep switching back and forth, taking the piss, going, well, I'm a lesbian, but I like men. No, you guys keep finding loopholes in these situations, and it's pissing me off. If you're a lesbian, you're a lesbian. If you're straight, you're straight, and if you're bi, you're bi. Stop fucking pissing people off, finding loopholes and saying, well, she started off straight and now she's a lesbian. No! The creator of the show already told us that she was a lesbian from the get-go, and we were fine with it, and it didn't bother us because we didn't care, because this is the 2020 and nobody gives a shit anymore about that bullshit. They did back then because we had our heads up our asses, but hey. And that's the only thing I don't understand about the show is, I don't care if she's lesbian. What I care about is her lying to herself, saying she's one now. So, if she's a lesbian, cut the bridge, man. Cut the ties to say she's a lesbian. I don't understand why they went in that first episode and going, oh, well, she's a crush on Freddy. So, and I just realized, thinking to myself, she ain't no lesbian. She's bisexual, but she's not a lesbian. She's not a full-on lesbian, that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying because she doesn't act and dress like one. I'm saying because she hit on Freddie in the first episode when she should have hit on... the names are confusing. When she should have hit on Daphne. And remember, Daphne was with Freddie at the time. So I guess they broke up because he was the killer. And then Daphne and Velma got together. And now Shaggy's by himself. And I felt really bad for Shaggy because he really loved Velma. Only to turn around and go, oh, she's with Daphne now. The guy didn't even put up a fight and say, well, I mean, it would have been wrong if he put up a fight and it would have made him, I would have understand it would have been wrong for him to do that. But he didn't even try. He didn't even try and go, well, you're leading me on. This is bullshit. Are you a lesbian or are you straight? And if she turned around and says, I'm 100% lesbian, I would have been, oh, okay, I can live with that. But I can't live with the fact that this girl is pretending to do something that she ain't. So sorry to burst the bubble. Velma is not a lesbian. She's bisexual. Because remember, she started to have a crush. And no lesbians know this for a fact. Because I've seen a lot of movies and I've seen a lot of cartoons and I've seen a lot of TV shows. No lesbians like men, period. They don't find them disgusting, but they're not going to sleep with them or like them. They don't mind being with the friends of them, but they're not into them at all. I'm not saying I hate the show because it's the English one. I'm saying they're full of crap. So Velma is not a lesbian. She's bisexual. Go ahead, look. Prove me wrong. Destroy me in the comments. Prove me wrong. Watch the episode 1 and 3 and tell me the difference between the two. Because in the first episode of Velma, she literally falls for Freddie. Which doesn't make sense if she's a lesbian. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Once she tried to hit on Daphne, and then Daphne turned her down because she's not interested, and all of a sudden, because she broke up with Freddie, now she's interested, so she switched. And I'm thinking, oh, see, this is fucking Adventure Time. I'm sorry for this one, but it's Adventure Time all over again, where Princess Bubblegum was always straight, and then big U-turn, lesbian. And I was like, oh, here we go again. You motherfuckers need to stop doing this horse shit. If you're going to make a character the way she is, stick with the character and go, Velma's a lesbian. End off. You can't. It's like they did. It's like we did it with Golden Dust in Has Been No Tell. Oh, Golden Dust is gay, but then you try and put him with a female, which makes no sense. He's gay. You understand that? You ruined his character by trying to make him go with Charlie. Charlie's already up to her shit with fucking Alistair. It doesn't make sense for the character in the show to take a huge U-turn and go, I'm straight now, or I'm bi now. You know what I mean? Build up to that. Build up to it. You're in the third episode, and you're not even building up to the relationship, and you're going, and I'm like, they had no chemistry in the first 2 episodes. None. And they didn't build up to it. If you remember regular show and things like Adventure Time, where the relationship built up to that moment, and we're like, yes, finally, this is not it. And I'm not looking forward to season 2 because they still have not got that dog. You can't draw a fucking dog? It's a dog! Anyway, I'm not watching Velma anymore because Velma's full of shit. So the person, but she is. And she's not a lesbian. I got proof. I've seen the video over and over again. I've gone, not a lesbian. I'm not bothered that she's not a lesbian. I'm just disappointed that they didn't stick to the rules. My game's lagging. Sorry, but she's not one.